Welcome to the Triune of Truth Internet TV show. I'm delighted today to introduce to all of you a good friend and a respected professional, Rich Portugal. And Richie's going to share today some of the concepts of the work that he does as a personal trainer specifically for the senior citizens. So Richie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So for our listening audience, Rich, to give them maybe an overview, an idea of what it is that you actually do, and maybe your evolution doing this type of work.
Sure. I exercise seniors, and only seniors, in their homes for strength, balance, and cognitive fitness. I bring all the necessary equipment in, from a resistance chair which has bands on it, to weights and benches. My customers range from, and I say customers because I'm not a doctor, but my clients range from those who are relatively healthy to those who have Parkinson's and MS, heart attacks, strokes, just a variety of illnesses that seniors come in contact with.
So Rich, quick question. This is not your first profession.
No.
And you know what's exciting, I think, what I respect so much too, is that I'm always advocating for our patients and our listeners that, you know, life is full of adventures, it's full of chapters. What kind of moved you into this arena?
Well, I graduated as an attorney way back when. I think Cleopatra was going down the Nile when I graduated. I never practiced, but I went into business and used the degree throughout business. And I was in a number of different type of occupations. And a couple of years ago, I had really had it with the corporate world. And I've always been heavily into exercise. And I was doing volunteer work at our local Y and working exclusively actually with seniors. And I was dramatically helping them in a lot of ways. So I thought to start a business where I could help seniors in their homes. I really didn't want to deal with seniors in gyms, because if you go to a gym, you really don't need me and my expertise. So I started my business, and it's been a lot of fun, a lot of learning experience, all through the years. And I've been doing this about going on 5 years.
That's awesome. And one of the things that I'm delighted with is I like to bring on to the show people who resonate with similar philosophies. And Rich, you know, I know you know myself. And we've been on bike trips together where we like to do a lot of physical things. And for a moment, why don't you share with our listening audience some of the things that you've seen with people? Like, age is not a factor. We're always advocating, and in my work as in exercise physiology, we were always taught that muscles will respond, cardiac activity can be enhanced, and I know you've seen some really exciting changes in people that you have worked with.
I definitely have. Chuck, we have bodies of hunters. Our bodies haven't changed for about 200,000 years. They were created to be active and to use your muscular system. When you don't use your muscles, the body tries to conserve energy, and therefore your muscles will atrophy. And we're told that muscles, if you really don't use them, start to atrophy when you're about 25 years old. But as seniors, we certainly have a more quiet life, which has to be approached and confronted very actively. I have seniors from 50 years old to 95 years old. I have one man who's 95 who exercises and has had dramatic results. And remember, this is his muscular system. He's gotten stronger, his balance has improved, and he's become more reactive and faster. And that's a wondrous thing to see simply from exercise.
That's terrific. If I had to ask you this question, like, is there a type of client that you like working with? In other words, not by disease or problem, but if you had to kind of paint a picture, what is the client like that you would like to attract into your practice?
I work with clients who have a need. Those who go to gyms and participate in certain different activities is wonderful. But my clients come to me because they really have a specific need. And that really defines my type of clientele. Whether it is a person with Parkinson's who needs to help with balance or walking, or a person with a severe shoulder separation and after rehab is still suffering terribly, how I can help them, to people who are healthy but just need to get back into exercise. So my clients, the defining parameters of my client is definitely those who have a specific need and goal in mind.
It's interesting because Rich has allowed me to work with some of his clients, and I have certainly shared with a number of my senior citizens, a recommendation to have somebody work. And I think what's terrific in the nature of your line is your willingness to go to people's homes, because the whole idea, I hear people comment on either going to gyms as being too intimidating, or some of the people that you work with, they just can't physically.
That's
and they
correct.
need somebody. So I think that Rich has a real niche business in the opportunity to help people. And there are those of you out there, although it may not relate to you, the question I always say is, who do you know? You see, the intention, Rich, for me, of creating this kind of internet triune of truth, and for those of you who have never seen this before, my triune, 3 things, and that is align the spine, which is not only my work in chiropractic, but what it is that you do as a personal trainer. Eat from the vine, which is my terminology of eating foods, because we know how critical food is to the well-being of the human body, and of course calm the mind. And there, Rich, as you and I have spoken many times, we know how the challenges, the emotional challenges, the stressors of life play havoc with the human being. So can you give our listening audience that array of different kind of conditions, maybe specific health-related conditions that you have worked with? You mentioned some people that might have spine or back problems, but there's also Parkinsonism. Is there any others, if you can just name a couple of things?
Sure. I've worked with people with obesity. I've worked on the other end of the spectrum with people who need to bulk up. I work with people...
frail people.
Frail,
yeah.
Extremely frail.
Mm-hmm.
I work with clients who have MS, who have, stenosis.
Stenosis of the spine.
Who have nerve problems like fibromyalgia.
Osteoporosis.
Yes,
The issues
yes.
of
A lot of my
bones.
clients, arthritis.
Yeah.
So those type of things that most seniors come in contact with, and those, as you quite properly put it, who don't go to gyms, have no desire for one reason or another, have me come up and at least point them in the right direction and start to get on a healthy path.
Lifestyle.
Daily.
Yeah,
Lifestyle.
yeah. So one of the things we're always talking about, how important, my frustration, 35 years as a healthcare provider, Rich, I have watched so many people become what I call religious with their exercise after the cardiovascular disaster.
True.
So obviously, for those listening, and yes, we're talking about Rich and his expertise, but here's my cry out to the community. Please, and I know, Rich, you advocate.
Well, be
if you
preventive.
haven't been, yeah, an ounce of prevention, more than a pound of cure. It's as old as Hippocrates. But here's what I always say. I know you know, but knowing, is not doing. So anyway, Rich, if people are interested and they would like either for themselves or their family or friends, or they know a neighbor or somebody who might be interested in the type of service that you do, how could people reach you?
You simply go to my website,
Which is?
fitnessseniorstyle.com, or you can call me at 201-937-4722. I'll be happy to take your call.
I'm sure. So anyway, folks, thank you again for tuning in, and we will have very diversified professionals that I personally resonate with. Rich, you and I, we know each other. We've had each other's work. The most important thing is there is a host of people, a plethora of people who need help. And the intention of the Triune of Truth TV show is to bring out and bring to you professionals in the wide diversity of health-related fields that could be of help so that we all can achieve what we're looking for, longevity and quality of life.
Well
So
said.
Richard, thank you very, very much for participating.
And thank you for having me.
Please, if anybody's interested, get in touch, and we have all of the information right below for you to reach out to Richard. Have a great day, and until our next session, thank you.